What's good, Tiger Nation? We're going to stay in the offensive line room, man. We got all the beef out here tonight, man. We just had a chance to sit down with Evan Henry, and now we bring over his good teammate, brother Kirk Ford Jr. Kirk, what's up, baby?
What's
down
up,
here
guys?
at Big Easy with you, man.
Yes,
HBCU Legacy Bowl.
Yes, sir. Yes,
man,
sir.
you've been down here dominating, man. You got to talk to me about this. You got to tell Tiger Nation what you've been doing. This is going to be a little unconventional because Kirk just been down here wrecking shop all week. So you got to tell me. We're going to start right there, man, because I'm going to set you up. I was sitting on the sideline at the practice, and they said, man, Kirk did not lose one rep today. And now you get a chance to talk about it. So tell us, how has your week been down here at the HBCU Legacy Bowl?
Play the clip. But it's been a heck of an experience. I mean, I feel like there's an opportunity where in my head, I feel like you got to make the most out of it, especially coming from an HBCU. You can't just play to the standard. And you know, the JSU standard, it's not a standard. There is no ceiling. So every day you got to stack days. You gotta want to be better. Like for me, like my first day, I lost one rep. And I was mad, I don't like losing in anything. Just like Jackson State, period. We don't like losing. It's a winning atmosphere. It's just been a super fun experience. Like it's amazing what they're doing here, and getting to play against the best HBCU talent. I feel like it's my mission to show that I'm one of the best players in HBCU, essentially.
Man, you are, man. You've done very well. I'm going to do this, man. I see you rocking some ice right now. Talk to me about those rings around your neck, man. Which ones are they?
I was blessed to be a part of Prime's first class. This is the 21 championship, 22 championship. Celebration Bowl and Swag Championship from this year coming soon. It's going to be right here, too. So, it's dope.
Hey, man, so let's talk about it, man. You have had a chance to play under a lot of coaches. I think Evan really honed in on Coach Manny. I know you went JUCO. We played some JUCO ball, and then, like you said, Coach Prime and was it Coach Markinson? That was the offensive line coach. Played for him. Then Coach TC takes over the job. You get Coach Jason Onyebuaga, and then you get Coach Manny to come in. I'll let you kind of give your take on in whatever direction you want to go. But the question I have is when you're changing different types of offensive line coaches, you guys got a different O-line coach that's here. You got some other guys that you never played with. How do you assess that? How do you take something from each one? How do you grab something and add to your tool chest when you're working with a lot of different coaches?
I feel like all coaches have they're all different in a way. Like each coach has a certain niche that they cater to, and you just take bits and pieces from each coach and kind of formulate it into one. And I feel like when you like some players, I feel like some certain players, instead of learning from each coach, they'll try to take what one coach taught them and then kind of go against what that coach is trying to teach you. When essentially, if you take a little bit from this coach, you take a little bit from this coach, it just makes the game easier. Like, because some coaches may teach something that's for you, might be a little better than this coach, but then also at the same time, that coach might have a different technique for it, a certain different type of gap scheme that you like, okay, I take that from him, I take that from him, and it just can like evolve your game essentially. And I feel like that's why I kind of liked having different coaches, because I got to see the Power 5 experience where one coach came from, like Coach Markson came from Ole Miss, who he coached guys like Jason Peters, the guy from the blind side, Michael Orr, I couldn't think of his name, Michael Orr, so he coached great. So I took certain things that, obviously those guys are super freak humans in nature, so certain techniques with him might not have worked with other guys on our team, whereas you take a coach from an FCS school like Coach Jason, and then certain techniques for him, it's like, okay, so that's a little cheat move that you can use. Plus, with this technique, now you're really dominating the block.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? And then Coach Manning, being a coach that's played in the NFL for 13 years, being a center for Peyton Manning, it's like the icing on the cake, just making the game super easy. Like, for me personally, like, Coach Manning really changed the offensive line culture at Jackson State for sure. Like you can for sure say that Jackson State offensive line is dominant at this point in time.
Are we going to stay dominant with you and Evan leaving out of the room? I asked Evan that question, and I'm excited because I get to talk to you after I talk to Evan, so I get to have the same continuity. We understand games are won and lost in the trenches, and this national championship offensive line was very unique. We dominated at the point of attack. We led in offense. You guys did some amazing things. You had a SWAC Offensive Player of the Year as a running back, as in Irv Mulligan. But I want you to kind of talk about ways you guys were able to dominate, but also speak back to the room that you're leaving behind. Because we did talk about DTB, DeAndre Towns Blue. He's going back, took advantage of his JUCO year, and then. But I want you to talk about the room, but talk about the line as a whole, and then talk about the room that you guys are leaving behind.
Man. A family.
Yep.
A bunch of guys who were selfless. It didn't matter who was in the game. It was always the next man up. That was what was so special about our offensive line. Whereas if one man went down, like, for example, when Muda hurt his ankle, we can move. I was at left tackle. We can move Evan from right guard to center. I go to right guard, and then we can put in, for example, our freshman Mason, who's going to be a dog. That's why I'm not even worried about our offensive line, because I know when we needed guys to step up, they always came through. And I mean, like, we always had this saying, 5 equals 1. Okay. And as long as those five, like, as long as we're working as an accord and we're all working as one, nobody can stop us. So I feel like the way our dang, I messed up. It's gonna be.
Keep going.
Okay, yeah. Okay. The way our room was set up, it was just so dominant, and it was beautiful to be a part of, because it was one of the first times I had been in a room where it didn't matter who you put in, we were going to put in work, which is a testament to our old line coach.
I love that, man. I love that. Let me ask you this. Since I mentioned Towns Blue, you also had an opportunity to take advantage of that year. Give me a little insight on how that thought process went, and you decided, you know what, I don't need it. I'm going to proceed and give up my college football and pursue my professional. Let's talk about what went into the mindset of choosing not to play another year.
It was a tough decision, but I talked to God about it. I prayed about it, and I felt like I did everything I was supposed to do at Jackson State. I mean, I graduated with my bachelor's and then even got my master's degree in business, so I got my MBA. And I felt like at that point, winning a national championship, something that's never been done before, I felt like it was the only right way was to go out on top.
Yeah. You know what? I'll say this. This was our 4th time being national champions, but this is the first time, and I say it this way, so Tiger Nation, don't come for me. The first time we've won a game that was the de facto national championship game. And it was our first Celebration Bowl, so that was a proud moment. You had a very proud moment, man, this season. It was very unique. You partnered with Cheez-It, right? And you had a $10,000 giveaway. Man, you could have called me, man. I needed a little bit of that. But no, all good. You had a teacher that you really have a lot of love for. Share a little bit about that, kind of what went into that decision. I thought the video was pretty awesome, man, and we were very proud to be a part of that experience with you. So let's talk about that moment and what it meant to you to be able to go back to your school and bless a teacher that's been a great blessing to you.
Shout out Miss Cumbie, man. That's somebody who just helped me so much at a rough time. I went through a severe knee surgery that ended up giving me a rare blood infection that caused me to be quarantined by the CDC for months. Wow. So I missed the whole semester of school and I had to imagine being in a room by yourself, and you're only having your thoughts for months on end, going from being that top dog athlete, being the guy who talks to everybody, able to communicate with everyone, then it all going away, being shut off, and then you have to come back and act like nothing happened. So for me, when I came back to school, it was almost like, I wouldn't say mental health issues, but it was hard to talk to people again. Like going to a room of 20 people, I would start sweating and not know how to formulate sentences. Yeah, I'd get anxiety to the point where I wouldn't want to go to school. And Miss Cumby was one of those teachers that really acknowledged it, even when I didn't, want to. She was always somebody who checked on me, was always there, and she got me back into school, honestly. Like, if there was one class I was going to, because she made learning fun. Like, I didn't even know I liked history until I got into her class. Like, she helped me in a lot of ways. And so for me, when Cheez-It came to me and they were like, we're gonna allow you to bless somebody, I was like, it was no other person like that I could think. Like, at that time, I knew who I was gonna do instantly.
Man, that's special.
Because even after I left high school, she always checked up on me, always supported my sister. Okay. So it was always like, she was really family.
Man, that's
a second mother,
man.
For sure.
Yeah, I know your parents were proud, man. We were proud. Just an amazing philanthropic gesture on your part, man. Let's get back to the Legacy Bowl real quick. You down here with 6 coaches and 6 of your brothers from your national championship winning team. It was pretty cool to do the photo, and Coach Javancy Jones, 1, 2, 3 national champs, right? So how has this experience been, being in partnership and camaraderie with your teammates and your coaches? How has that been for you?
It's just like being at Jackson State. It's just like being at practice almost. I got my head coach, all the coaches are there laughing, giggling, we having fun, and then having my brothers there, me making plays, and then I look over there and I see Evan dogging somebody, then I see K5 over there strapping something up, Rob, dominating, Matt, punts, True on the other side, giving O-lineman work. Like, it's amazing, man. Like, it's a great experience. There's no other feeling like playing with your brothers, and we're all playing at a high level, dominating.
Man, that's special, man. That's special. Let me ask you this. What do you hope to do with football, man? I know your college days are done, and I know it may sound like a simple question, but you're here, you have a chance to put on in front of scouts and have a potential to get to the next level. And I did some research on Pro Football Focus. You were up there, man. And a lot of people don't really understand that from a ranking standpoint. I don't know if they, how much they value, the data is the data, man.
Top 25 in the country, man.
There you go, man.
FBS,
absolutely.
FCS, all levels, top 25. And I feel like that matters. Like, especially like that's how I felt like when I was snubbed for the all conference. I was like, but I mean, numbers don't lie. So, and then me being here, that's why I take it so serious. I'm here to prove a point. That's why I don't want to win. I don't want to lose a rep. I want to win everything. I want to dominate everything.
Have you had a chance to talk to quite a few scouts since you've been here?
Yeah, I've shaken a lot of hands. I've talked to a couple CFL teams. I have an interview with the Detroit Lions in the morning. Okay. So this has been an amazing experience. Like the All-State Legacy Bowl, definitely. This is something beautiful for HBCU athletes that I wouldn't get this opportunity if this wasn't here.
Wow. Sure. I've asked every athlete I've sat down with that same question. How important is the HBCU Legacy Bowl for our schools to have a week like this? You start with the HBCU Combine, and then you get a full week. The schedule is just, it's elaborate. They got every second of the day, you guys are occupied. But speak a little bit more onto the importance of a week like this. And you got players coming behind, because we were talking about that today. I've seen, how Tiger Nation is, man. We had a couple of players. I think we had 4 when Nugget and them was here. Nugget, Tony Gray, Justin Reagan, and Arian Hartman, I think. And we with this team here to get 7. It really would have been 8 with DTB, but and we know we got a good crop of players coming behind that. But talk about the importance of of this Legacy Bowl week?
It's definitely important because HBCU athletes, it's not like a lot of us get invited to bowl games. I think we only had one invited to the Reese Senior Bowl.
Yep, Carson Benson, offensive lineman from Alabama.
And I don't think anybody from the East-West Shrine Bowl, I mean, Shador, those guys. But other than that, like, we don't really get the opportunity because they don't really think that we can handle that type of talent. Whereas this shows, like, we come here and we play against each other and they see, oh, this is some high-level ball. And these guys are getting it after it, and they seeing and they see us producing. They're like, okay. So, like, without this, none of this would be happening. We wouldn't even be talking about me winning every rep. It's just big time, man.
Yeah. Let me ask you this: whenever ball is done, hopefully it's not anytime soon for you. We love to see you get on one of those professional rosters so we can continue to support. And that's the goal. That's the expectation. That's the goal. But after football, like you said, you got your master's in business management. What's your plans from a professional standpoint when you go out into the non-football world, I should say?
I feel like I want to do a little bit of everything, like how we doing right here, like podcasting. I got to do an NIL deal with Bare Knuckle Boxing where we got to interview all the heavyweight championship fighters. And we got to actually sit ringside and like call the game, and then after the game interview all these famous fighters. Wow. And it was just a dope experience. And then at the same time, I had a internship with Senator Norwood, so I got to work on politics during the summer. Shout out Coach O for that, and got to experience that a little bit. Him being the only black senator in Mississippi, seeing how the political system works, reading bills, and then also like being able to give back to kids of needy, like doing food drives with the South Central nonprofit organization. So like I've been privy enough to do a lot of stuff. So I'm just trying to gauge like which avenue I want to go into. So during college, I've just been trying to just do a little bit of everything. So then like I haven't decided fully what I want to do, but I know what direction I'm sort of leaning to.
Man, that's some good stuff, man. It's always cool, man, to sit down and just take the non-conventional conversation route, man, with you guys. We've been following you, and it's been football, but giving you guys an opportunity to just let your personality out and express beyond the playing field, man. I do want to get your thoughts on this. Celebration Bowl went down. I know it was rough for you, man. It was rough. You know what? I'm gonna be a little comical. I'm gonna blame Isaiah for that because Isaiah should have scored. I'm just playing. Isaiah Spencer, he fell a little short, but I always tease with him. That's my guy. But talk about that moment, knowing that you had played your last down. You weren't gonna be able to go for the rest of the game, but we still managed to win the game. But let's talk about your mindset and that experience for you.
I didn't really think about being injured. I was more so worried about my brothers. Like I told them, I was like, I tried everything at halftime to play it. They taped my ankle. I'm trying to walk. I'm falling, stumbling, doing everything I can. And they looked at me and they said, "We got you, bro." And like, it took all my nerves away. I put on that boot and I watched my guys go to work and dominate. And it was just an amazing experience. I sat there and I cried because it's like we had worked so hard. Like all those hours we put in. Like and then to have Mason as a freshman go in there and just, that being my freshman and him watching me and him looking at me and like, I appreciate you, bro. You've taught me a lot. And for him to go out there and dominate, it was a full circle. Like I know I was hurt, but it was a full circle moment. Like it was meant to happen. Like I'm not mad that it happened because God does everything for a reason at the end of the day. Brother. And it was an amazing moment to be a champion at the end of the day.
Wow. Very special, man. Well, Kirk, man, I'm gonna end my questions there. I mean, this has been a treat for me. Give you an opportunity to address Tiger Nation in whatever way that you can, and I look forward to the game on Saturday because I know you're gonna do your thing, man.
Oh yeah.
So, give Tiger Nation, your salute, man, and we'll go from there.
Tiger Nation, appreciate you for everything. Taking a JUCO kid in who never thought he would have made it this far and taking me and building this family and allowing me to go out there and do what I love. And with all the support, I appreciate you guys from the bottom of my heart.
There it is, man. Hey, you got a teammate right here. But Tiger Nation, man, this has been fun, man. Y'all know this. Kirk Ford Jr., one of the best to come through the city, one of the best to represent Tiger Nation. Man, look at all those rings around his neck, man. Y'all know what it is. As always, I love, go Tigers, baby.